And so Lyndon was thrown in jail and beaten. What happened to him for throwing the holy mace out of the window?
No consequences. And speaking to Eugene DePuche, who was a member of the cabinet at the time, two things he said. One is they couldn't quite figure out who owned it, who owned the mace.
Okay.
Which is a problem been fixed since 1967 because all the property of the house is now vested in the speaker. And then secondly, he said they saw it as a political exercise, and so no, there was no criminal sanction.
Now I remember a second incident occurred with the mace, which people from my era may be more familiar with. I think it had something to do with Cassius Stewart.
Yeah, what happened was Cassius Stewart and a colleague of his chained themselves to the Speaker's table in the House of Assembly, and so they were arrested. And when we came to office, the charges were dropped. Again, I think it was the view of the government that the matter was a political one and not a criminal one.
Now, some people seem to think that was stupid, right? But what was his motive? Why did he do that? What point he was trying to prove?
I don't remember the specific reason, but you know, the civil disobedience is a kind of honorable tradition where, you know, that's the way you dramatize political events. And what you try to do is to make sure no one is physically hurt or there's no violence connected with it. So once it's within those bounds, I think that's how most people in society will respond. We couldn't get the F&M to drop the matter, though, so it had to wait for us to deal with it.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. This book is filled with so much history, so much education, so much story, so much drama, so much emotion. I mean, you have to purchase this book. Great Moments in PLP History. Now, I know you had a mini launch last night. What other plans do you have for this book?
Well, it has to get in the commercial, you know, in the store so people can get it generally. But I think the next place I'd really like to tackle is COB. I mean, Chapter 1. I think I'd like to do something at that bookstore.
Okay.
Because, you know, that's the target audience. See, I happen to believe that you got to tackle the leaders, the potential leaders of the society, because if they know, it's like teaching the teachers, you know, that's important, because the teachers will then teach the others.
Now, there's just one small problem, because I think this book is more than just Great Moments in the PLP History, but I guess you choose to name it Great Moments in the PLP History because that's your party. But this ain't only for the PLPs. Everybody need to have a copy of this book. Everybody need to read this book and understand. Like I said, this book is just awesome. It talks about the Burma Road, the awakening. Then it talks about the party's history. We get to find out whence the PLP came. The labor movement. This is something that everybody need to know about. Black Tuesday, I mean, just awesome. We just talked about Black Tuesday, and there's so much more to it that could have been said, but we short of time. We only got a half-hour show. And this is what mostly captivates me. Pindling and Me, a political, social history. I wish we had time to go through all of this, Fred, but I'm going to just take it straight to the end. I need you to go to page 15 and just read the highlighted portion on page 15.
We arrived in the bedroom. Turned out to be Monique, the youngest's bedroom, and the place was neat and spick and span. In there was the Reverend R.E. Cooper. Lady Pindling sat down. Michelle came in and said, "Daddy, Fred Mitchell is here." There seemed to be a grunt of recognition, but that was all. Sir Lyndon was gasping for breath, and I was immediately struck by the fragility of life and the ephemeral nature of time. I quite frankly found the scene incredible. Here was the man, the chief of the Bahamas, the man whom Finance Minister William Allen once described as bestriding the Bahamas like a colossus, struck down on his deathbed and dying and helpless, and there was nothing any of us could do to stop it. We were losing him, and the collective history of his efforts now lay in the bed, gasping to an inexorable earthly end.
Wow. As you know, I am an emotional guy, Fred, and reading this, actually hearing you read this, actually sends chills through my spine, because we were taught Lyndon Pindling is the hero of the nation. He's the father of the nation. He's done so much for us, right from throwing the mace out of the house, majority rule. There's so many, I mean, our schools, our hospitals. So Lyndon Pindling administration has done so much for this Bahamian nation. And think of a man so powerful and mighty. Now, to what you're saying, I mean, what does that say? I am afraid, what does that say about us?
Well, for younger people, they just know that life is a cycle, you know. There's a beginning and there's an end. And you can't be afraid of death. I mean, it's going to come. You do the best you can within your lifetime. And the best you can is the best you can. Always try to do the right thing and the best you can.
If you were to describe to Lyndon, how would you describe him?
Just a remarkable man in so many respects. I mean, he had his, obviously his human frailties, and but just a remarkable man, a clear sense of vision. And of course, all of us who knew him have a connection to him. I was recalling the other day that on the last day of his death, you know, there was a trail of people to the house, including Norman Solomon, and including Hubert Ingram, who, you know, kissed him goodbye and, you know, forgave him for all the issues which arose between them.
Like I said again, great moments in PLP history. You need to get your copy. And we will keep you updated on the next move for this book. But if you need to purchase a copy right now, this instant, you can contact me at the number across the screen and you will get yourself a copy of Great Moments in PLP History, a National Alliance documentary by Fred Mitchell. Like I said, we've just been promoting The Tears I Cried. And I can see the two of these tying hand in hand. I'm not openly endorsing you, Fred Mitchell, but I will say that I support you. I've been following your movements, all the stuff that you have done, your political career, and I can see you as somebody who we could consider one day being the leader of the Bahamas.
Well, here's what I want. It's just an honest chance to be considered. The country, when I go around the country today, it's run by people in your age group. I don't see any reason why the possibilities can be opened up for you and your contemporaries and those who are after you to really seize the country's commanding heights so that you feel a sense of ownership of the place that is your country. And that's really what I offer, that possibility.
Fred, so many people have contacted me, and I have one or two folks right now who want their story to be heard on Controversy TV. So right after the break, we're going to take you live to some more The Tears I Cried. Fred,
thanks
a
much,
million.
It's a pleasure.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, good you could come.
The Tears I Cried tells the story of the endless search I went through to find my biological father. The lies, the detours, the psychological abuse, the gangs, the drugs, 34 years of deceit.
Total of 4 swabs altogether. Okay. Do the first 2. Open up for me.
$1,000 on DNA. Then the shocking truth. When it comes to 33-year-old Utah Leonardo Maurice Taylor, Naaman, you are not the father. Not the father. Not the father. Books are available in paperback and audio disc and can be found at the Jukebox Mall at Marathon, United Bookstore Mall at Marathon, Chapter 1 Bookstore Oaksfield, and the Mystical Fitness Gym, Palmdale. Tune in next week for the Patrick Robinson Show, right here on Controversy TV. The lies, the yearning, the hatred, and the tears. Next week, Thursday, 10 p.m. on Cable 12, the Patrick Robinson Story. Well, Pat, Daddy really wants you to be here. He wants all the children to be together. And I was like, no, I'm not coming. You know, if Daddy go in surgery and he die, the hell with him. That's it. I ain't into that. Wow. You know, he wasn't there for me, so why should I be there for him when he called me because he on a sick bed? You know, where he was when I was wanting for him.
And Utah was bold enough to come to church on a Wednesday night while I was having Bible study. Sit in the back with Val, his fiance, the son, sat in the back after Bible study was over. He came right up to me and asked me a point-blank question. I said, but you gotta ask your mother.
Daddy was more like I guess a financer. Pay the school fee, and that was that.